Yeah. Simple one, Jim. What is the seed of your inspiration?
Would you like to answer that? In a simple term, everything. Okay. Everything, anything, is a possible create problem. I'm sorry, dear, that's about as close I can come to it. If you ask these silly questions, I'm
Yes.
We all come to your show, and we admire, and we like, and we view. These are your children, however. You come to the show bringing what we couldn't possibly bring, is your acquaintanceship with all of these creations. And having lived with these children being brought home for a while, how have you come to admire them anew, or wonder if they're not prodigals and should be sent back away?
Well, just like your own children, they're different, and they have their own life. And once they're done, they're on walls, being sold, not in my own case, actually I've got a basement full of them. But they're the ones that stay at home, they have But that's a good question, and I think I understand what you're driving at. You learn from your children just as much as they learn from you, in real life. And it's the same with these. Now, seeing things I haven't seen for maybe 20, 30 years, or haven't seen them readily, you do pick up in these. And for me, it's a reassuring thing, because I can see things that happened 30, 40 years ago that, that's what I am, sort of thing. Just as you might in your children. So, they keep feeding back to you if you're ready to sit down and look, listen.
I'd like to answer for Jim a question back there. What is your seed of inspiration? Because I asked you somewhat that question a while back. Well, it's one that we can all take into account, and it's one that I think Jim has represented to all of us, or this great crowd would not be here. And Jim responded to me, and it was a spiritual question I was asking. He said, first of all, when I am engaging, I make sure I am present. Then I listen. In this case, making art, he look. And he does not judge. So for me, that was the perfect answer.
Thank you.
Copies will be left at the door.
I think you mentioned, Jim, you're taking silly questions, so I got one for you.
You notice I didn't say Harry's was a silly question. Right here, he did.
Of course, brilliant. But what I'd like to ask of you, like this magnificent collection, what happens to it after this show? Is it going back to your studio, or will some people in Ontario have the privilege of viewing it?
That's a good point, and I wish there were some vehicle ready to show these things, not in Stanbridge in Ontario or wherever it occurs. I don't know. I'm not in charge of that. And for the most part, on June the 6th, it'll be delivered back, or very close to that time, to my studio, which I'll put in the basement. It'll sit there for another
I guess that begs the question, Jim. Do you see yourself, or who is your audience for your paintings? Is it? But I would challenge you a bit, because some artists I think are commercial and they paint for a broad audience. I always see you as an individual who paints for yourself. You know, that's why all those paintings are in your basement partly, because it's just to see where I can go with this.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. That's a good explanation. And yes, you know, I've never really chased the market, as it were, in order to get something that really worked. And so be it. And I'm not the only one who does. You know, there's lots of ways of getting around this and getting through it. And whatever way works for you, that's the way you do it. And I'm sorry, that's the way I am.
No, that's fine.
I might jump in and just say one little thing though. You know, when the room is filling up with all your characters, you know, so that they're getting a little warmer and the temperature's going up a little, you know, you really start to see the color come out in the pictures. And something I find myself saying to students a lot, when you try to get people to go to openings, you know, they don't go because all the terrible people will come to openings. You know, you say, well, you have to see the art being social, because it's a social medium. You know, these are very social paintings.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something I do want to get across. You know, I was really interested in personality as a teacher, and the fact that it shows up again here, because there's a lot of this thing being present in that situation, and non-judging in that situation. And these seem like social pictures.
Yeah.
I don't need a mic.
Okay, great.
Jim, if anyone wants to be the market chasing you, because sometimes in galleries we can feel distance and not be aware or feel embarrassed about how we could obtain some of this or connect with you. Are you available to the market and come to you?
Well, I'm not above making a buck. It will help. I'm in the phone book.
I don't know if either Harry or John, you have some things that have come up during the discussion that you want to, you're good? I think I might close it soon, and I just know that you came with some really thoughtful ideas. I don't know if there's things that have come up today that you'd like to just comment on.
I got one response, because it's sitting on my left shoulder here, these two paintings, and I think of them, and when I look at them with the understanding of them being done as a collective of, or a mandate to explore a certain thing, I can also, I look at them now and I feel the heat of rebellion coming off of them. Hot color.
I think there's always an element of that anyway. The minute you touch the canvas with a brush, color, in a certain way you're rebelling. You're almost saying, this is the way it's done. In fact, this is the attentiveness that was brought up here, which I think is very important. This is the way it should be done. And, you know, whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that this is the way it should be done. And so there's always an element, I think, of rebellion.